Anybody else in the second row? Third row? Yes.
Good evening, everyone. Mickey O'Brien, Timber Ridge. As we've spoken before, I'm very upset over what happened through these flyers and subsequently the election and what happened with it. Personally, I like you. This is really going to be hard for me. We cannot have this in our government. And you, prior to becoming supervisor, you had long touted for open and honest government when you were in the audience. I believe the record is correct. Do you have, I'm asking you a question now, do you have any opposing view from what the record had printed on the 8th and then the 13th?
The article.
The article where
the article.
Where the GOP was incensed over the actions? Were they wrong?
The article where I indicated I would accept responsibility, that stands. The editorial, I don't agree with. But the article, I mean, they did. The reporter did quote me correctly.
Yeah. Well, the assessor situation and the assessments, the selective reassessments of Timber Ridge area, no one was any closer to that than myself, as I took upon myself to create and petition the entire town for not only the removal, to reclassify or rescind the reassessments, and et cetera, and that had gone a long time. As I said, I was all over town with that, and myself and one other party, not from Woodbury, collected 1,227 names of voter age and above Woodbury residents. That was very significant. The deal here is that, as I had said in our last meeting, there was some people, maybe less than 20 people that told me that when Tiffany was so upset with the inundation of people concerning the reassessments, he apparently told them that John Burke told him to do it. I had asked you when we were voting for the village if that was true, and your reply to me was that if I believed that one, you would tell me another one. Now I would ask you again, was in fact there any influence on Mr. Tiffany by yourself to do that reassessment in Timber Ridge?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Further, as we talked about, the sleazy campaign efforts and the total untruths that were committed by the group that had put out this flyer, I believe, and as many others do, that affected the outcome of the election. I have a letter from an individual, a neighbor and his wife, that on the strength of that lie on the flyer voted Democratic, and he's normally a Republican voter. I'm going to seek more of those. And regardless of what law says what, this isn't finished here, as far as I'm concerned. It'll continue. I'm just sorry that our town I grew up in has to face something like this political situation that's going on now. This underhanded, unethical, illicit manner in which campaigns are promoted. And I too would ask that you resign, and the people that were elected through this sham, they too not take office. And thank you.
Anybody else?